Payton Talbot was the only one we didn't bring up.
Yeah, and that was a good win. Solid win from
Oh, it was
Payton.
a great win. That was a great.
And
That
that
was a
can honestly
good,
segue into the
gritty
next
win.
thing we got to talk about, which was that I guess his boyfriend reacted to his win.
Okay, I'm confused with where we're at. Everything
Bro,
with
I
this.
just found this shit out yesterday.
So is he officially gay?
Bro, I don't know, because like I said, I just found this shit out yesterday. I saw the post and I said, his rumored what?
Right.
Like, his
Because,
rumored what?
because Frank Ocean posted something on his Instagram story after he won, right?
Right, with the crying face. So that sparks dating rumors. And I guess, so I
Right.
looked into it a little bit. Frank Ocean posted something on Valentine's Day of Payton Talbot too. Like a lovey, like with like, again, it's no words, I don't think, but I think he posts like heart emojis and shit and like Peyton's
Right.
face on Valentine's Day.
Why hasn't anybody asked Payton Talbot about this yet?
They're all scared. And you know what? I gotta say something to Ariel about it because Ariel's a fucking slime ball. So, okay, so they are asking him about it. They asked him about the friendship at the media day.
Okay.
Now I when they said friendship, I took it at face value. I didn't think anything about Peyton being gay, like dead honest. And I thought, okay, they're just asking about friendship here, whatever. Now it seems that it's a pointed question when they say the word friendship, and they're being cowards. They won't ask him to his face. Get Payton Talbot on this program. I bet you, bet me any money, I'll ask him straight to his face. Are you
But what's
Frank
so
Ocean's
embarrassing
boyfriend?
about it? I don't get even understand what's so embarrassing about it.
There's nothing embarrassing about it. They're making a bigger deal of it than it is. That's the problem here, though. In my opinion, that's the problem. They're making, if you're fucking gay, then you're gay, and that's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Do what you do, you dog.
But here,
Now,
but let me say, well, let me just say this,
yeah.
and then you could put it out there. So they're being cowards again. They're saying, "Oh, your friendship with him." Just okay. I got so much to say. I'm like getting stuck. So fast forward after the fight, Ariel. You saw the clip, right, of Ariel talking to what's his name again?
Payton Talbot.
I was almost trying to call him Patty. Payton Talbot. Ariel was talking to him in the interview, and Ariel said, "Your friendship with Frank Ocean." Now, the thing about Ariel that we need to understand here, and see, this is the thing about Ariel. I give him the credit he deserves for being a consummate professional, but this is where, Ariel, you keep playing games, bro. I'm going to fucking roast your ass every fucking week, bro. Every week. Ariel is one of the best in the game. He knows everything. He does not ask a question without knowing the answer pretty much. And so believe me when I tell you, Ariel has heard things about this Frank Ocean thing, about this Payton Talbot thing. At the very least, he's seen the rumors online. He's seen people saying that Payton is Frank Ocean's boyfriend. He's seen
Right.
that. Now, Ariel has more sources than that. Ariel can make calls to people I don't even know exist and find out information that we can't know. That's why Ariel always breaks news on his show, because he has these
Sure.
fucking crazy connections in all these media outlets. And then he has connections with people who have spies themselves. That's how like good Ariel is. That's all the credit in the world, right? But Ariel, you're a coward because you didn't ask him straight up, are you dating Frank Ocean? And then you go ahead and you clip it off, friendship with Frank Ocean. You know what I mean? Again, Ariel, you're adding to the confusion. Be a real person and ask him the fucking question. You're supposed to be the best journalist in the game, and you don't even have the courage to say it like this. Everybody's been starting rumors online. I've seen the rumors. I'm just going to ask you straight up. You know what I mean? People say that you're rumored to be Frank Ocean's boyfriend. They posted a story about that. Do you have anything you want to say to that? Do you want to respond to that? You don't even have to ask him, are you his boyfriend? But put it out there that people are wondering about this and ask if he has a response to it. That gives a real answer. That gives, oh, Payton doesn't want to address this. Oh, Payton does want to address this. He has nothing to hide. Oh, Payton addresses it and he admits that it's true. So, but Ariel didn't give him that platform because Ariel called him his friend. And Ariel didn't open it up the way he should have. Because Ariel's being slimy. And then you go ahead and you clip that shit off, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if I had somebody on my podcast and I asked them that fucking question, you know, I don't know if I'd be clipping that off.
No, it's interesting because I've seen clips for the past few months basically saying there's something going on between him and Frank Ocean, but I never dove deep into it because I honestly don't care. Whatever. I honestly didn't take it even at face value. It's like whatever. But it does become an interesting story because I don't know if has there ever been a gay man in the UFC?
There has been, but he got kicked out of the UFC. I forget his name.
Got kicked out
For the gambling issue with James Krause. He was one of James Krause's fighters.
Interesting. It's
Justin Molina or something like that, and Ariel's had him on his podcast too.
it is
Jose Molina.
a weird space to be in because it's an alpha male industry, and even pro football players have had a hard time coming out because of how you're being treated in the locker room against with your peers. So yeah, it's an interesting topic. I've never really put any weight on it until more recently, and even us talking about it. Like I said, to each his own. You know what I mean?
I have no issues with it. I mean, I did find it a little bit shocking. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I find it more shocking that people haven't tried to ask him more directly.
And that's the thing that pisses me off. Sorry to cut you off, but I just want to clarify. See, the thing with Ariel, if you're not going to ask him directly like that, then don't ask him the question. That's my thing. Don't ask him if you're not going to ask him directly, because I don't think your heart's coming at it from a right place. In fact, I know it. I don't think anybody's heart could be coming at it from a right place, being like, oh, tell me about your friendship with Frank Ocean. You know what I mean? Like, I know what you're doing, bro. We all know what you're doing. It just doesn't seem like you're coming from a genuine place. For me, a genuine place is saying, hey, man, there's this rumor that's going on. Do you just want to address it? Do you not? I just want to give you an opportunity to address if you would like to. But Ariel, I just don't like it. And then if you're going to be like that, then don't ask the question, but go on.
Yeah. And maybe there is nothing to it. Maybe Frank Ocean's, I have no idea. I'm dumbfounded on the fact that Frank Ocean would even know who Payton Talbot is a question I'd like to even ask. Who would you rather have on your show, Frank Ocean or Payton Talbot?
Yeah. Oh, you're asking me? Well, I guess because it's an MMA show, you know what I mean? But yeah, I guess like a Frank Ocean.
I go Frank Ocean.
But to be honest, I don't know anything about the guy. I never listened to his music. Payton Talbot is a bigger star in my mind than Frank Ocean.
But Frank Ocean is
he's a global superstar, right?
He is in the music industry, in the music industry.
So that's also mainstream.
And he's an R&B singer, so it is interesting, very mainstream. It is interesting that he would even what R&B singer do we know ever talks about the UFC?
Yeah, did you see the clip from Ariel though?
And even a guy, no, I didn't. And even not only that, a guy that's not even ranked.
Yeah. So
like how would they even meet each other?
I got the answer for you because Ariel asked him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess, and it's kind of just an odd one, but I guess Frank Ocean just slid in Payton's DMs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. And then so they just started kicking it. And I wish you did watch the clip that Ariel posted, because if I'm being honest, right, although I think obviously Payton's beating around the bush, I feel like Payton was talking about Frank Ocean as if he was his boyfriend or somebody who he loves on an emotional level. Yeah. Because he's really smart and he's really like intuitive, and our careers, they're very similar in a lot of ways, and we kind of like find parallels between our careers and use it to like motivate each other. So like, for him, he has to perform on a big stage in front of thousands of people. I have to do that in my own aspect. So like we kind of learn different ways that we cope about it, and then we kind of like talk about it and learn like new ways of how to like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Here's a question I have for you then. And I'm going to probably get roasted in the comments. I guess I'm gay now too. So if you want to bring the heat, I don't give a fuck.
I can't wait for this.
No, but serious question.
Yeah.
The MMA world ready for a guy like a Payton Talbot to be gay?
I think it is, but you got to own it. You got to own it. If you're going to be embarrassed about it, I think you're gonna get some flack. But I think if you own it and you say, whatever, I think enough people will come out and be like, listen, like, don't be. I think Payton will get shit talked on him, but I think there's enough fans at this point to say, just like you're saying, it doesn't fucking matter. Because when I posted this stuff about his relationship, I'm getting a lot of flack from it too. This isn't the view for men. I don't give a fuck. We don't care. It doesn't mean anything. So,
well, I would say this, we're in a different tone in our society right now when it comes to people that are gay, transgender, people of color. So the conversation has shifted kind of back where people aren't so afraid. I guess afraid's a bad word to it. People really just don't care if they talk down about people that are gay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my opinion on it, to each his own. Like I honestly don't care what you do behind closed doors as long as you're not hurting people, you're not hurting kids. Um, but everybody does have a different view on it, like religious people and shit. The MMA world's gotten weird with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's allowed people the permission to start talking down and really bad about people. So I don't think I don't think they're ready for. I think they would almost outcast them.
Mm. Interesting. Interesting.
I honestly do. I think maybe not the media people. I think the casual fans that are huge Trump supporters would and religious people would that this sport does not have a place for people that are gay.
So you almost think that this could be like how do you put this? Like being gay in MMA is almost the equivalent to like snitching and like rap.
I wouldn't go that far. I would say more that
Like you get blackballed.
yeah, yeah. I don't think Dana would ever do that because I think he would still need to keep winning.
Mm.
But if he got to the point where he was in the rankings and he was more mainstream, I don't. Any
So let me
law.
give you an answer. So this guy,
Yeah.
right, who got cut from the UFC because of the James Krause's kind of gambling situation, he's pretty much the only fighter who's ever been openly gay.
Mm-hmm.
He's bisexual, open about it, completely open about it. Doesn't hide it one bit. And obviously the UFC doesn't want to re-sign him because of the issue with the gambling, and I think they just can't re-sign him. But that is a guy who has kind of been thrown to the wayside. But the difference to me is like Payton's a fucking elite fighter. So
He is.
he can be as gay as he wants. You know what I mean? Like if he
Here's the
knocks out the best guy in the world, then I mean shout out to the guy who just got knocked out by him.
But here's the next question: will fighters that are super religious, super against gay people, say I don't want to fight him?
Like a Muslim, right? I think Christians would do it.
Yeah. There's another Bryce Mitchell.
Interesting.
I
Interesting.
don't hear what Bryce Mitchell's opinion is on the matter.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
And a lot of the Muslim guys, I'd love to hear what their opinion is on the matter because they're in my eyes, they're super against it.
Yeah. So I'll give you something.
I guess I'm a liberal. I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah.
Democrat or Republican. I'm not religious or not. So I don't know what the fuck. I'm not. I'm for whatever people do good in your life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I'll get because I know you're not really religious, so I'll give you perspective from the religious side. I think there is a demographic in religion for sure who doesn't like gay people,
to
right?
the core.
Because I don't know about to the core. I don't know. I never asked them if you, so I won't assume. But I'll say they don't like it because it's like this thing where God says you can't go to heaven, right? If you're gay, and so I know that there's some people who believe that, and then so therefore it kind of changes their opinion towards it. But I know there's a lot of people, who basically your choice is your choice, and like I'm gonna live my life, and you're free to live your life, and people have family members who are gay, so like I think it's not as easy as it maybe once was to like bash people because you could turn around, you know what I mean, and your sister's gay or what I mean, your brother's gay or something like that. So the same people who bash, right? Maybe they can't bash as much because turns out somebody in your family is gay who you have to love. And so now it kind of evens things out.
Yeah.
So
I just think the tone of where we're at in today's society is shifted. And I think someone told me this the other day. It's easier, he told me, because you live in California and I guess we're a liberal state. I didn't even know what
deep south or some shit like that.
exactly. I didn't even know what the fuck liberal meant, bro. That's how fucking like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Liberal, I think, is opposite of Republican.
But basically, it's like, we're a little bit more free going. You got gay people, you got like
progressive is the word.
Okay, so we're not taking shit so serious, which I don't actually. I don't. But if you go to certain parts of the country, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
It's a person of color, a person gay, or person transgender. Like that shit, not religious. That shit is looked like completely frowned upon. You know what I mean? You're outside the circle, bro. You ain't even looking in this circle. Like you're the weirdo.
Okay.
So I don't come from a society like that. I don't come from a circle like that, so I don't have the same perspective.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shit.
It's an
That brings up I wasn't thinking anything about him getting blackballed and shit like that. So that brings up a super interesting kind of perspective there for sure.
I mean, I like I said, we don't have enough evidence of fighters getting to a next level that were gay.
Now, do you know like some of the? Well, there is none. There is none except for like I said, Jose Molina, who's basically blackballed. But just to give a timeline of Payton's kind of like gay activities, I guess you could say, or like gay rumors. Um, so honestly, a video surfaced back in the day of him inhaling a vape through his ass. You ever seen this?
Oh.
No, there is a video on the internet. It already circulated throughout all the MMA accounts. Payton Talbot, fucking cheeks up in the air, bro. Shoulders on the floor.
Damn.
Shoulders on the floor, cheeks up in the air.
So what does that get you higher?
I think he was just showing off a talent or something like that he could do it because he has a bunch of homies in there. Like, yo, he must have shown his homies, and he's like, they're like, do it again for like $100.
I know Diddy did Molly through the ass, so I don't know what's happening. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
don't know.
So anyway, fucking somehow Payton Talbot can gulp air through his ass.
Interesting.
And so he took a vape hit through his ass. Now that's one thing. Then, he obviously paints his nails and that's a little bit like zesty in its own right.
Right.
So does Izzy though, so that kind of is what it is. But the other thing that kind of happened is like when he went on that Frank Ocean, basically he appeared in Frank Ocean's music video. This was like the first existence of his relationship with Frank Ocean. Appeared in his music video with again his cheeks out. He was like he dived in the pool butt naked.
Okay.
And so basically that was him in the video diving in the pool butt naked from behind. So the camera captured his cheeks diving in the pool. So people were like, dude, again, like kind of funky, like why? And I didn't know Frank Ocean was gay. I still don't really know if he's gay or bi, but I'm assuming Frank Ocean is gay if they're saying that's Payton's boyfriend. So anyway, I didn't know that back then though.
Towards yes.
Okay, same here. But when I saw that video and they said like Payton was naked in Frank Ocean's music video, I thought it was a straight guy's music video. But being naked in a gay man's music video is definitely like a little bit. I wouldn't fucking do that.
Right.
I would never be naked around another gay man.
Right.
And I don't have any ill will towards them. But boundaries are boundaries, right? If
Sure.
you're turned on to me, then I'm not going to show you my shit.
Right.
So anyway, like I said, I didn't know that was why that video was so viral, right? I didn't realize that at the time.
I didn't know that either.
So then there's that. Then we fast forward. I just told you about Valentine's Day. Apparently, Ocean posted a cryptic story post with Payton in it on Valentine's Day. Timing kind of odd. Then Payton in his opponent's junk, right? That's the screenshot he grabs after the fight and posted on a story with the crying face. So like he's completely sexualizing Payton. The only time he didn't is when he posted him on Valentine's Day, but that has to do with love.
Right.
So
right.
everything that he posts about Payton is like sexualized or in a romantic manner.
Right. Right.
So that's why I think it's like sparks dating rumors because
Yeah.
he's gay and he's in another man and alleged straight man is an alleged straight man is naked in a gay man's music video.
Yeah, I think that it'd be different. Like, hey, congratulations, champ. Posting shit like that.
If you're his homie.
Yeah. So like you said, everything's more sexualized. Like, has a different tone to it. So yeah, these
Yeah. Now you don't even want to go down the fucking route of who's the top dog, who's the bottom dog.
No.
You don't even want to fucking figure that out. But
I'm hard pass. I'm a hard pass on all that.
But my thing is, Payton's a UFC fighter, Brody. That's where I come into play. Ain't no way a UFC fighter can be doing that.
I don't even.
You better be fucking the stud, the male stud.